Hi guys, I am ExactChaos and welcome to a new Let's Try. I think I've recently just come across Under Par Golf Architect that was kind of launched a couple of weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago or something like that. And I've just recently actually discovered it and I've had a quick look at it and I think it's cool and we'll do maybe a short little series on it. It looks pretty fun. I am a golfer, so I play a fair bit of golf myself, so I think that I'm going to enjoy it quite a bit. So, what we'll do, let's do career, and is that it? So I did play the Rookie Roads one over here, and I guess maybe it's not worth us going back to it. So let's just start off. I love this. I'm just going to drive through everything here. Love it. Okay, that's a bit of fun. I was kind of wondering, do we do this again from scratch? Yeah, let's just start it from scratch, right? New game. New game. It's a small map, and there is some tutorial elements, but we'll give it a skip. So anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to try and do pretty cool golf courses. Anyway, we'll stop with all of the tutorial stuff. Can I switch it off at all? Doesn't seem like I can. Anyway, I've gone through the tutorial before, so I kind of know what we're doing. Now let's have a little bit of a look. If we rotate it, I'm kind of wondering whether I do something a little bit more. I mean, the standard is to kind of have it kind of in the middle or something like that. But I'm kind of wondering if we can fit. I don't think on a small map we can do anywhere near 18 holes. So just FYI, I'm going to do either 9 or 18. I'm not going to do 10 and 7 or 13 holes or anything like that. It's either going to be 9 or it's going to be 18. That's just going to be it, right? Okay, so let's start with some paths. Just do that and we'll do this. Okay, there we go. Now, let us do our very first hole. We've got some money up here, quite a bit of it. And we're trying to kind of do a little bit of work here. So we start a new hole. Actually, let's have a look if we can. I mean, this is going to be a little bit short, I guess. So maybe we start off with a par 3 over here. And potentially we end off with a par 3 on this side. And then we'll do some, proper par 4s and maybe a par 5 and a par 5 and then par 4s running something like this with a par 3 and a par 3 over here. I think that makes sense. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a look at what we can maybe do. Flattening terrain, terraforming. If we were to maybe do a little bit of this and maybe a little bit something like that as a bit of a let's do something like that maybe. And then actually what we'll do is we'll put our tee box a little bit more elevated like this into a kind of area down there. Okay, and I think that's flat enough. So let's quickly start our hole here. So I'm not a pro at this. Yeah, 219 yard par 3 is a pretty long one. Anyway, I don't need us to go to all of that detail. So let us quickly do a few different things. Yeah, it's popping up a few different things. So now we can have a look at the scoring, right? So if we look at this, we have to have a tee box, a green, a fairway, and hazards to get us to a reasonable score, right? So every hole will be rated. So let's grab the green side elements first. We'll do a little something like that, and we'll kind of keep that rock in there. I'm kind of tempted to do that. Oh, what we can do, we can do a bit of this. Is that? Yeah, I think that's okay, right? We'll do that, something like that. That's going to be fine, and we'll do some trees and the likes on it. But maybe we'll keep it a little bit short here. Now what we'll do, we'll put some sand, but this is a par 3, right? So we want to be, pushing the boundaries a little bit in terms of making sure people have a little bit of a challenge to get there. And then what we'll do is we'll run some fairway alongside this one, right? Just a little bit there. I guess something like this, really. Is that going to be... I think that's going to be okay. We'll do a little bit of fairway like so. Maybe a little strip of fairway in here in case someone wanted to do that. We'll keep those trees the way they are. And that's going to be our starting point. Now, what we'll do is we'll get a little bit of rough all around the edges here. Right, you'll even do maybe a little bit of rough around the tree there. And then what we'll do is we'll rough it out all the way to here. Right, so let's have a quick look at our scoring. T-box still needs a bit of work. The fairway needs a bit of work, and the hazards need a bit of work as well. So if we do that, is starting to get our hazards up a little bit. Now, what I was kind of wondering, can we pop a few trees? Okay, we've already got the rock there, but let's do maybe a couple of small trees in that location and in that location like that. And that's kind of getting us there. So let's do a little bit more rough in there and a bit of rough to the back. Actually, what we can do is we can do a little bit of fairway at the back there, right? Fairway is fine. If we trim back and put some rough at the back, what does that look like? Yeah, that's fine. Still need a little bit of work on the hazards. So let's do a little bit more in there and a little bit more down stretches like so, right? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's all good. Now we just need to improve the tee box a little bit. We'll do that. We might just do a fairly large tee box like so. And okay, let's now we can play it. We can open it up and all these kind of things. So that's our very first par 3. What I'm going to do is let's quickly start with a path. We'll run the path up there and kind of up like this. And then might run it up there. Okay, yeah, we'll bring that water into play on the next tee. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll pop back in here and we'll tell ourselves. So if you're coming in here, this is going to be your starting hole. Yeah, I guess something like that is going to be fine. And there's some bits and pieces that we can put in here. So we'll give ourselves a little bit of a garbage bin, a bench, and a drinks fountain like so. And what I'm just kind of wondering, maybe what we do is we do a little bit of what is this? Do we know? That looks a little bit awkward, actually. We'll just do that. So there's a little bit of a path up to the tee box. And then maybe we do ourselves a little bit of a path in there, right? So that's okay. So it kind of gives people a little bit of an idea. Now we can have a look at this one, right? An A+ hole, pretty good. Let's have a look. Now we can do them. So you can move the starting point. You can put some waypoints in there, but for a par 3, that's kind of less important. We can move the kind of the hole at the back there, and now we'll do a bit of a shot analysis. So we can see that we've got a little bit of room here, bailout areas for those that can't quite get there. We are on actually the good hitters. We've got the bunker in play here, and then if you're really good, you'll be able to make it. So let's have a look. Let's give it a play. Oh, I need to open it first. Well, let's unlock it. There we go. We'll unlock it there. So what I'll do is let's quickly... Ooh, where am I? I'm just walking around here. So let's give it a play. That's my avatar, by the way. I can in this game you can actually play it as well. So now we can see I've got a driver to try and get there. If I do 3-wood, can I get there with a 3-wood? I can't. So with a driver, I could get there. So a driver on a par 3, it's a little bit of an awkward one. If we move over this way, yeah. So that is quite a long distance. So I guess what we'll do is I'll play it out this way, not at full strength, to try and get it into that area there so that we can putt it straight away. So let's do, and this is a little awkward, this one here. So full strength would be absolutely all the way full there. So let's just go with maybe up to around this spot here, right? So something like that, and we'll do it nice and sweet. And not quite what I wanted to do. We needed a little bit more strength than that, but what we'll do is we'll give it a little bit of a lob wedge, I think, and it's probably about this area right here, right? So let's maybe do up to like that and a nice center strike there. And that should maybe get us in. Ooh, so close. Almost in the hole there. So par 3, and we're going to play it as a bit of a par. Putting is super easy on this game. Anyway, par, there we go. We've done it. We've had a look at it, and there we go. Okay, so let's get out of that. I'm not a big fan of playing it all the time, but we'll do that. Now, we can open the gates so people can actually start to enjoy our course here. Now, let us have a look at adding our second hole. We may as well speed things up a little bit so we can try and make some money from people to join us. Yes, our first golfers are on the course. Let's have a look at them playing. Okay, this is the mayor. The mayor wants us to get 3 bronze members, and that's kind of how this game works. You people are playing, they're visitors, and then they become members. Oh, actually got out of there. That's not... Oh, actually, that probably will be rough. Whoa, where are these guys kind of hitting? That's a little extreme. Guys, straight. Oh, excellent. Good bounce from that. Here's the mayor wanting to play a little bit of a game here. That is a little bit too bad. Oh, can still recover for par there. Almost there. Oh, good shot. Okay, hopefully they'll finish things off here. There comes the mayor. Ooh. Almost getting there. Okay, so anyway, wow. Playing while everybody else is still busy there. Whoa, that was quite a shot from that one. Okay, anyway, we'll go from there. Story. Okay, anyway, that's okay. We will. Okay, let's do a little bit of a bridge. Really, we can't run a bridge across? Okay, really, we can't do that? Okay, well, we'll do it that way then. So you'll have a nice piece like so. Okay, now let's get our next hole going. Over here somewhere. Let's just level this thing out a little bit. So if we were to say level it out, yeah, that is pretty good. We'll start it over in this spot like so, and then yeah, probably just a nice long par 4, right? 438. Oh, hang on. We'll do a shorter one because what we'll do is we'll run some par 5s at the back there. Okay. Let's just do a short-ish kind of par 4, something like this. Okay? Yeah, okay, fine. Oh, the mayor has already... Oh, I guess we've got some stuff. So here we go. We're adding some stuff to the game there. Okay, so we already have this water here. What we'll do is I think we'll just kind of extend it through. Maybe a little bit like that, and we'll leave something like that. So there's a little bit of a piece going on over there. What we'll do is we'll then rough it up on the start. Okay, so you're going to have... maybe what we'll do is, hang on. Okay, we don't want that. But what we might do is let's just grab a little bit of fairway just before the water for those who struggle with that. And then if I don't think we can do shot analysis just yet. So now let's get the green sorted out. That's the green over there. So let's have a look. Bit of an undulating green here. So if you go over, so let's do something like that. And then if you go over, it'll kind of roll out into this side. And what I might do is I might put some sand at the back there. So if you go over, you're going to roll out into the sand. And what we can also do is we'll add a bit of sand over here. This could be a huge gravy stain on the t-shirt of my career, but I'm pleased to say that this is shaping up to be a great course. I could play all day, but the Beetroot Factory is naming a wing in my honor, and I'm late for the ribbon cutting. I'll be back soon, and I hope to see standard rise even higher. Okay, that's good. So we keep doing it. So they're continuing getting us to do some stuff. Money is still there at the moment, so let us quickly... I wanted to add, yeah, maybe a little bit of extra sand over here. And then if I wanted to terraform this, can we make this a bit of a pot bunker? Yeah, so we've got a bit of a pot bunker on this side, which will be, maybe that's a little extreme. If we go in there, yeah, maybe that's a reasonable pot bunker like so over there. And then what we'll do is we'll give ourselves a little bit of fairway to work with around the area here. Yeah, so you're definitely not going to roll up onto this green. And what we'll do is we'll just give ourselves a reasonable amount of fairway to work with on this side here. Actually, maybe we don't want it to go up all the way that way. We'll keep this this tree in here. It's actually going to be a little bit of an interesting feature if we keep that tree in there. And then we'll run the fairway all the way up to the water's edge here. And what I'll do is I will give us a little bit of rough here instead. All right, give us some rough there. Actually, I think something like that, right? We might be a little bit easier to do if we just do something like that, right? So that gives us a little bit of that. We've got the water here. And I guess if we do shot analysis? We can. Let's have a look at shot analysis here. So, we've got some people going to drive the green. Anyway, they've got a few things that they need to deal with. I guess we can do a little bit of a bunker down on this side as well. So give us a bit more bunker or a little bit more water maybe. Let's do a little bit more water instead. So if we were to just do a little bit more of a water stretch like that, just down the side here. So that's it's a pretty tough piece to deal with, right? So that's giving us a little bit of water on that side. You're going to want to play on that side to go into the rough instead. Let's just see. So you shouldn't be rolling into the water. This one might give you a bad bounce into the water if you drop it in there. But other than that, should be pretty good. Now let's give us some more rough here. Like so, like so. What else are we? Yeah, we've got everything. Is just the tee box that we need to clean up a little more. So let us get a little bit more of the tee box going on here. And then I guess what we'll do is we can go ahead and unlock this one. So people can start playing it. What we'll do is we'll provide a little bit of extra stuff here, drinks, fountains, and the likes. So give us as a starting point, give us one of these, right? So we'll do one of those. We'll grab ourselves maybe a drinks fountain over here and maybe a bin, and we'll put ourselves a bit of a bench up on this side maybe. Yeah, good stuff. So now the mayor's going to play it. Let's see the mayor do this. Oh yeah, that's not a bad spot right there. Going to cross over here, should be playing in. Let's see if he's got some trouble with the green. Not really, but yeah, this is a pretty tough green, I think, given that it'll roll down. Anyway, that's fine. Now I'm thinking if we continue the path up the edge here, right, and around the corner, and we can do a tee box over here that then shoots a par 5 this way, and then we can do a par 5 kind of coming back as well, and then we can do some more kind of par 4s actually. So that's a par 4 here. That's pretty good. I like it. A pretty nice little course area. I like it. Okay, let's add another. So C+ is what we're doing. We're creating what? We did create a new hole. Let's create another new hole. Let's just have a look. We should have some. Oh, we need some staff. So let's grab ourselves a handyman to start fixing some stuff. We'll get ourselves a cleaner. And I guess that'll be okay for now between the two of them. What we also probably need in this area somewhere is, I guess, a bit of a bathroom. So we can get ourselves a restroom kind of right. We'll do it somewhat in there, right? So once you finish that one off, let me get one of these kind of dirt path things there so people can kind of come back. And I thought we had a bit of an open spot there. So can we give ourselves a little bit of, well, it doesn't really matter. We can just give ourselves some fairway behind that one. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now if we are looking to, so this is a bit of a long one, and it'll be a bit yeah, fairly straight, I guess. So let's just make a start with a new hole, really. So we'll put it in. Yeah, we'll put it there. And then we'll run the par 5 out all the way this way. 534 yard par 5. That's a pretty good one. Oh, excellent. We've got a snack bar and a trash, but we've already unlocked it as part of the previous one. Use this button to do in play mode. That's okay. We can do that. I think this one will keep pretty tree rich. So let's just go back and sort out the rest of our green here. I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And what we might do is up there a little and in on that side. Maybe something like that will be a reasonable green for us. Okay, that's pretty good. And we might just do again with a bit of a pot. Oh, actually, maybe not pot bunker all the way through there. Maybe we'll just do a bit of a little bit of a bunker on that side and maybe a little bit of a bunker on this side too. So something like that, and maybe right in the front there, something like so, gives it a little bit of a square look there. And what I'm thinking is we're going to play to this side here. Well, we do need room for the path. So let's bring in the path first, and then we'll go from there. Oh, we'll have a look at whether we're making money in a bit. No, don't go in there. We're going to be looping the path around. Wow, the path is pretty expensive, right? So we'll do something like that. So we'll kind of run it. We can't run it that close, to be honest. Anyway, we'll go back to the hole. We'll get ourselves some fairways. This time around, we might do a little bit of firm fairways down. Can we click it, please? Yeah, a little bit of firm fairways like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it pretty narrow. So we'll have to kind of deal. We can't do it too crazy, right? So we'll, as we get to this area, we'll go with. We'll leave that tree in the place there. And we'll leave these trees on this side too. Actually, maybe we'll trim this one back so we'll get the bunker in play a little bit more, but the rest we'll kind of leave there. And that's going to be a pretty tight little fairway to play in here. So the idea would be that you will need to be playing into this area here. So what we'll do is we'll give ourselves a bit of firm fairway all the way down here. So the firm fairway will run, would look to run into the tree there. Okay, that's okay. So what we'll do now is we'll go back and we'll run some normal fairway. And then once we see what the shot analysis looks like, can we have a look at the shot analysis? Okay, so this area here, so that area here is a good spot for a hazard. So I'm thinking, give us a little bit of water through this area here. So we give us a little bit of water. So we'll do something like that. Give ourselves a little bit of water for people to deal with, right? So if they go too hard, they're in the water. And then on that side, yeah, it does give us a little bit of a, yeah, let's do something like that. That looks pretty good. And what we can do, yeah, I don't think we need, we don't need anything else there. Okay, and so we've got a lot of people that's going to kind of hit into this area here. So let's get potentially a little bit of sand down this stretch here. A bit of a bunker on that side, a bit of a bunker over there. And then we've got some trees to deal with. And then let's make sure to get a little bit of rough in there also. And we'll run some rough out here. Good stuff. That's pretty good. We'll run some rough in these stretches. We'll run a little bit of rough down there. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. So now it's pretty reasonable to play into that area. Now what I will do is we'll run a little bit of rough out like this, and I'll kind of trim that because this will be the spot that you'd be aiming for. And maybe we'll flatten it out just a tad because this seems a little bit, oops. This seems a little bit scary there. That's okay. We'll have a little bit of an area there for those that wants to hit in that area. And I guess we need to extend our our fairway a little bit more. We're going to go with just the normal fairway, and let's extend it like that. So if we do a bit of fairway like this, and then we'll just add some more rough to the mix, right? Is that okay? What's our shot analysis look like? So we've got most people into this area, right? So I think we should be okay. Should be okay then over here, and then you'll play it out over that way. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. No, from over here really. And then once you go over here, yeah, this is going to be pretty tight through to this area, but you should be okay. And then from here, you should be able to get it in there, or from there you should be able to get it in there. Okay, I guess that's pretty good. That is really pretty good. So let's some structures, yeah, require assistance. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Now just back to the hole quickly. Let's just we are in need of a little bit more hazard, so we'll do some more like this, and probably just drop a little down there and a little like this, right? So that's about A+ there, and that's okay. I think that's what we'll do as a starting point. We do need to increase our T area a little bit. So if we did something like that, that's a pretty nice little T spot there, and that's A+, right? So let us go ahead and open the hole. We'll unlock it, so that'll work straight away. Get me over here, get me one of these guys. So you're going to be, I guess, just like that, really. Okay, we'll give you one of those. We'll come around the corner here and we'll provide a few bits and pieces, amenities. Give me a bin right there. Give me a water fountain over there. And what we'll do is we'll also try and add a bit of a bench. Got a bench over there. Maybe we'll get rid of this tree right here. If we do that, we'll just get rid of that tree. Okay, good. So now that's a nice big par 5, adding out that way. Now, what we could also do in this area is we can do a snack bar, like they're saying, add a snack bar. So what we can do is pop in here, get ourselves a bit of a snack bar. So let's have a look if we... Yeah, we'll just do something like that. Perfect. Understand that. We need an employee here, so get ourselves an assistant. Okay, did we? Okay, fine. That should work. People can be playing it. We should have enough room to kind of curl back on this side now. So what we'll provide ourselves, we'll kind of have a look at the... Oh, here we go. We're doing well. A small driving range and a teacher. We already had that. Need to create a new hole, but we'll do that. I guess another par 5 all the way at the back here, and then we'll run a few more par 4s and another, maybe we'll see. Maybe all of our training facilities goes in here instead. Anyway, we'll have a look. But this is obviously the, unless we go all the way out there for another par 5 and then we start coming back. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's look at training facilities ever so quickly. Well, I think we've got a restaurant as well, right? Don't have that much money, but I think if we do the restaurant over here for that, yeah, let's do that. That's going to be the restaurant for us. So we'll... Oh, holes played is 3. Okay, yeah, we keep... Okay, calm down. We're just winning everything, really. If we do that, and if we do this, okay, fine. So that's the restaurant. We do need another staff member to work the restaurant for us. There we go. Go and work that restaurant. Okay, I guess, yeah, maybe what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a par 5 on this side, and maybe we'll have this one go down that stretch yet again. Okay, so that's okay. So we've got some stuff over here. That's as people are going, and then we'll do a par 5 down there, and then we'll start coming back and have a look at what all of that looks like. Okay, beautiful. We need a small driving range also. We'll come back to that in a bit. Let's quickly add another hole. Yeah, sorry, I'm zooming around quite a bit. If we just level this one in this area, that's fine. We will make a start with this hole here. There's a lot of clicking required to get all of this to work. And the idea is, yeah, that's not a super long par 5. So we'll go with that. Pretty straight again. So let's have a look. What are our challenges going to be on this one? I guess the path is the first thing that we need. So let's just run the path out all the way and around the back. Do something like that. Okay, so the path is there. Now let's start with the green. So let's do a bit of a longer green. We'll keep that that tree there because it's an interesting one. So a bit of a long green so that you can potentially have pretty long putts to the back here. Right, so we'll do a little bit of this. And then what we'll do is we'll grab ourselves a bit of a hazard. So we'll get a nice big sand trap over here. And also a nice big sand trap on that side. That's okay. We might grab ourselves a bit of a rock in that corner, and maybe a couple of small trees over there, right? So it's a little bit of a challenging spot to come into. Then we're going to do, just run some fairways down here. Okay, so something like this. Okay. Whoa. 2 stars. We can upgrade this snack bar. I don't know what this waffle iron thing is. And we've got some ability points. I think I've already spent them. 1 star is complete. We've unlocked. Yeah, I think this already happened. Yeah, we've already built the built that one. We still need the small driving range, of course. Forget about the star for the time being. Let's just quickly finish off this hole. So if we continue with some fairways down here. Now let's just see where we're at. So let's do some fairways at the start also. Then we need to give ourselves a little bit of hazard play in here. So if we go into this location and say, where are people hitting? Yeah, so this spot here would be awesome for a nice big hazard. And I'm kind of tempted to do a bit of a watery hazard yet again here. So if we just grab the water and we do little bits and pieces like that. I'm not going to do, let's not do all the trees there. So let's do the little bit of this. And, oh, let's do something like that where we're giving ourselves a little bit more of fairway to go in there. So if you're really accurate, you can, oh no, we want this fairway, please. You can actively make use of a little bit of extra fairway in this spot right here, right? So we'll do something like that. Okay, that should be pretty good. Now let's go ahead and grab the rough. So yeah, if people are not super accurate, that's what the rough will do for you. Just get a little bit of rough down there, and similarly probably down on the edges here, right? Let's get that going. This is A+ already as a whole. Okay, well let's just improve the tee a little bit. Right, that should be good. Now that's nice and A+ hole there. We've got some trees here. Maybe we'll add a little bit more. You know, can we? Okay, so if we did a bit of that, that gives us a reasonable bit to play here. Okay, now let's go ahead and unlock this hole. Just have a look at this. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's unlock that hole and get people to make a start here. Now, what we'll do is we'll grab a little bit of pathing through maybe something like this. And then we'll also grab a few extra bits and pieces. So give us something like that. We'll give ourselves a trash can and a bit of a drinks fountain over here. Oh, and we do need the sign, of course. Let's rotate that one there. What? Oh, it doesn't want to. Okay, fine. If it doesn't want to get that one to count, what we'll do is get rid of that one. Get rid of the tree and put the sign right over there. Okay, beautiful. So now you're doing that. You're running back into that area. That should be a pretty reasonable hole to play. Okay, that's our fourth one. Build a small driving range. Anyway, I think if we play something out here, right from there, that gives us this area for the driving range, because we probably won't play back all the way in here. Right, okay, so let's grab ourselves yet another hole. Oh, money is a little bit tight at the moment, so I'm kind of wondering. Okay, anyway, what we'll do, give me a little bit more path here. So if we go, why is placement impossible? So if we did a little bit of that, right, so we can put a tee box in here. We do something like this, and we run that one back. Yeah, it wants a tournament. We can host a tournament. We can play in a tournament, all these kind of things. I think we'll do that. So this is the fourth hole. I think we need at least another one. So let's have a quick look. If we go back in here, training facilities, the driving range at 10,000. That is a pretty tight spot there. Yeah, so let's place ourselves at the driving range over there, and we'll get ourselves a teaching professional to work the driving range. And did we need anything else? Maybe a gardener. Let's grab a gardener as well. Now, let's have a quick look at the money. So at the moment, our monthly expense is about 25,000, and our income is only about 20,000. So we can keep a bit of an eye on this, but hopefully that's going to be useful. I think this will pop back because I think this is part of the construction of the hole and things that's going in here. So potentially that should be okay. We're hoping to get a few more platinum members, and we're hoping to get a tournament played as well. So all of this is pretty good. People are signing up, getting into membership. Okay, now let's look at it. If we go another hole here, let's go a little bit more potentially undulating. So if we were just to say, well, actually, let's get ourselves yet again a bit of a tee box up here, and then we'll do a bit of a valley down this area, right? Something like that. So a little bit of a valley. So it's actually going to be pretty easy to stay in it. And we'll do a little bit like this. And then maybe the green should be somewhere over here. Okay, I'm not doing a par 5 again. So let's just see what we have here. So if we go up here, don't want a par 5. So a longish par 4. Okay. And then if we look at this hole, we want to give ourselves some waypoints. So if we grab it there and we do maybe something like this, give ourselves a bit of a slight dog leg to the left over there, and we do still have a few bits and pieces that we're going with there. Perfect. Okay, so now back to the hole. Let's go to, well, we'll start off with the tee box because we're here. Let's get a nice large championship tee box, and then we want to do a bit of fairway here. So actually we're gonna probably run the fairway through here, and this is a bit of a hard fairway, so it's gonna run out quite a bit on the firm fairways. Okay, and then I'm thinking a nice big bunker in the middle here, right? So we'll do something like that. Keep everybody nice and honest through this stretch here, and then we'll grab and do the green first. So we'll give ourselves a little bit more towards the back here, a nice big backward green. And I'm thinking we want to do maybe a little bit of this stuff here. So the green is just a little bit more challenging to get onto, right? So we've got these areas here. If we do that, that makes this pretty tough. So let's just bring the rest of this down. Actually, we'll bring this down a little bit more. So the whole thing kind of rolls back down, even if we do something like that. So if you don't quite get up the shelf there, the whole thing just kind of rolls you back into this area here. Now we won't be super painful about it. What we'll do is we'll just get some fairway in this area, right? So we'll roll off into fairway again, like so. Yeah, let's just do something like that, right? So it's not too painful to roll in like that. Now we do need a little bit more along the line of hazard, so we'll do something like that, and then we'll do maybe something like this. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. And what I'm also wondering is maybe we do another little slither of fairway down here, and what we'll do is we'll actually all the way around, and then we'll do just a little bit more terraforming here, where we're also going to kind of make it not quite as aggressive as the front, but we're going to make sure that you kind of roll off the green on the back there if you're and what we'll do is we might lift this one up a little bit, and yeah, that's okay there. What we might do is we might just go down to one tile and drop that in a little bit. So that's a little bit of a backstop. Actually, if we go here and we just drop that one a little bit, it's got a little bit of a... Yeah, so we've got a bit of a shelf to be working with there, right? Okay, so a bit of an undulating green. Now, if we wanted to, let's grab a bit of, I think just a few small trees in this area. So you can't, well, so you're a little bit more awkward in terms of playing it across here. That side should be okay. And I guess we're going to just run a path up this way, right? Really, that's going to be the plan. And then what we'll do is we'll play some rough in here, right? But really, here you should be all good. So let's run some rough up there, some rough down there, and next to this area here, and even over there, right? So a little bit of rough in like that if you're going in there. Ooh, this is a bit of an interesting one. If you get a bad bounce there, it's going to be a little bit problematic. Similarly with some of these spots. Okay, beautiful. So how are we doing? A plus. That's a good one. I think we can unlock it. It's a nice little hole, this. And let's go ahead and unlock it. A nice little par 4 there. Okay, and continue. So now we've done all of that. So we just need a bit of a tournament to go our way. So I think we'll leave this area here and make it look nice. And then what we'll do is we'll try and run our path down this area, just a little bit set back from everything. Not out of money, are we? So if we wanted the path to kind of do something like that. Down in this area. And then maybe something through like that, right? And then we could do something else in here. So I guess this is a nice little spot for us to add maybe a restroom. Okay, good stuff. So people are enjoying this. Let's see. Can they get up there? Ooh, struggling with the shelf there. Okay. Yeah, you need to stay on top there, guys. Otherwise, you're going to roll off. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, yeah. You need to be a little bit better than that. Oh, now you need to putt it properly. Okay, good stuff. Woo, bogeys. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's a nice little, another nice little hole there. How many do we still need? Oh, we need to do a few things over here before we get into it. So let me, from a whole perspective, we want to be doing, it's rotated like this because people would be coming from that side. And then, of course, what we'll do is we'll grab a few bits and pieces here. I'm going to try and just speed it along a tad. We'll do maybe a bin over on this side, right? So that there's a little bit of everything there. We need some benches too. So let's grab a bench. I think just something like that should be okay, right? A couple of benches, people can watch the range. That should be good. 5. So we need a few more holes here. I think now this is going to be a little par 3 into a quarry, maybe. The quarry par 3 here. So let us grab an extra hole here. Let's just level it out. Maybe a 3 wide there. We'll do something like this. And we'll start the hole in there, and we're gonna, oh, it's a par 4. Okay, well, it can be a par 4, it's okay. We still need another. Okay, so if we did maybe something like this over here, that's fine. I don't mind that too much. Then let me grab a bit of green space here. Okay, so we'll do something like that for a green, and then we want to, I'm thinking this one's going to be a little bit tough to get into because we're kind of going to have it as a bit of a quarry green here, right? So we'll do something like this. That's a little awkward to play into. Maybe we'll not go too awkward here, so you do have a little bit of fairway to get yourself into this area, but it's going to be narrow, right? And then we'll have some fairway on the other side with the rocks on kind of both sides there. And yeah, actually we'll have lots and lots of rocks to deal with here. I will be leveling this out a little. So if we did a bit of this, if we did something like that, yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's okay. We can fairway it up all the way there, right? And there, and we'll, are we out of money? We're out of money. How's this going? B plus, so we need to wait for a little bit of money. There's some money there. Let's add a little bit more fairway in there. Yeah, I think that's about right. And now we need to grab ourselves, is it rough, or are we going to do some trees or some more rocks, really? Let's grab a few trees. Trees are fairly pricey, though. So let's see. Grab ourselves a couple of big trees here. Just so that there's a little bit of a buffer from this hole to the next one. Okay, with a little bit more trees down this side. And then how much do we need a little bit more along the lines of, oh, well, let's start with the T. We can quite easily add some stuff to the T there, and then we just need a little bit more along the lines of hazards. So let us do something like this, really. Okay, so if we did something like that, I guess that'll be okay. And I guess we can do some more hazards down here and maybe some at the front there. Oh, we need a little bit more money. I think that's okay. We can actually open it up for business now. So something like that, right? So there's some hazards there. Oh, I'll put a little spot of fairway still in there. So that's kind of what it's going to look like. I'm just thinking I wanted to potentially just if we do it as a nice big 3 there, that is maybe not quite right. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll give me this guy, give me down to just 1, and we'll just level that out a little bit over here and maybe over here as well. So something like that, just so it feels like a little bit of a quarry in there. And maybe I'm just thinking that from a path perspective, might be good to have the path run around there, really. So if we were to grab the path, yeah, can we clean this up a little bit and get the path to run through here? Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. Let's try that. It's going to match with the quarry there. Beautiful. So if we did this and that's going to be the path, really. Oops, there we go. So that's the path. let us open up this hole, please. That's an A plus there. Let's just have a quick look here. Yeah, people should be playing that fairly easily. That should be okay. Let's unlock this one. Okay, so they should be able to play that one. Now let's grab a couple of bits and pieces here. So you can grab that one. We'll make sure to have a little bench over here, and we'll pop one of these and one of those in there. Okay, good. So everybody can quite niftily play that. Now we can do maybe a par 3 down into here. Maybe even an island green. That might be pretty cool if we play that one. I'll let this episode run for a few more minutes. So let's just see, where are we at now? Is this hole 6? So we still need 7, 8, and 9. So 7. I think we need to do 4 this way, 8 and 9. So we need par 4, and then par 3, or par 4. Yeah, I guess par 4, and then par 3 this way. Okay, so let's have a look at getting those in place. Money-wise, it's a little tight though. Let us quickly level our terrain here. So we'll do something like that, and then we'll play a par 4 this way. And what I'm thinking, water-wise, can we please kind of connect these two together? It feels like it should be connected together like so. Yeah, we'll play a par 4 this way. Where did we... Let's do it like this. Over here somewhere, and then we'll play like a reasonable par 4 that way, and then we'll do one up here, and we'll play our par 3 into the clubhouse, the back of the clubhouse again, and we'll extend that water there, and we'll have room for some additional facilities right over here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's quickly do that. What do we want to do? Let's start with the tee box. Let's add ourselves a little bit of stuff here. Okay, and then we'll get some fairways. Actually, we want to be able to run. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, we wanted to run the fairway into the water there, right? And then we'll do some fairway on the other side. We'll keep that that piece there. We'll grab ourselves a little bit of green here. Okay, and then I guess we'll do a little bit of sand in here also. So it's going to be a pretty tough spot. Right, if you... Oh, we're going to do a bit of almost a wrap around at the front there, and maybe a few spots there with a little bit of relief at the back. To be honest, we might even do maybe something like this, just to give it a little bit of a bump at the back there, just to kind of ease that off a little bit. Now give me some normal fairways to run down this area here. Okay, we'll do a bit of a shot analysis to see what this looks like. So give me, actually, you know what? Let's give ourselves a little bit of water at the front here also. Just so that we kind of play the mental game with these guys a little bit. So we'll do something like this, right? So that there's a little bit of water at the front here. So something like that, right? So it just looks like... so something like so, right? So that's a bit of a tough spot there, and then we've got a little bit more water on that side. So hazards wise, we're just waiting on a little bit more rough along the sides here. So if we run some rough in like so, that should get us to A+ there. That's pretty good. And what I'll also do is I'll do a little bit of rough down this area and down here. And I guess we need a bit of a a bit of a bridge crossing over there. We'll do another one on that side, and we'll probably need to do that's a bit of a bummer. Can we get rid of this one? Let's get rid of that. That's no, not quite. Hang on. If we were to give ourselves a bit of a path, if we run straight across here, can we? Yeah, we can. So a little bit of straight across there, and that'll be our path that runs down this side here. So we'll do a little bit of this. Good stuff. That should be okay. Let's quickly have a look at the shot analysis here. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty tough for people there. Okay, let's do that. Fine. And what we'll do is we'll open it up. Let's unlock that one. Let's see what else it is that we need. We're coming in from on this side, so we will need something like this. Give ourselves a bin. Give us that there, and a bit of a drinks fountain. Okay, so that's pretty good. People are playing it already. And now this one we're going to curl back into here over the top of this also. So let us grab another hole. I guess something like that. And then we'll play straight across into here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A little bit of stuff there. Let's give ourselves some green to work with here. Yeah, we're not going to have all of that. That's okay. That's a reasonable amount. Now we need some fairways. Well, let's go with normal fairways here. Okay, we'll do something like that. Okay, so something like that should be okay. What we'll do is we'll give ourselves a little bit more fairway on this side, and we'll do a little bit of this over here. Then we'll do some rough on both sides there, and we'll do a nice big bunker right over here. So if we did that, that, and that, and even that, and that. Okay, so something like that is a nice big bunker on this side, and then we'll do some rough on the other side. So we'll do something like this down here. Lots of rough in there. So, and we'll also do some rough up here, and we'll give ourselves a little bit more. Oh, insufficient funds. Get some more money. Money, please. Get some money. A little bit of money. Like that. And like this. Down there. What does this look like? We need to work on the T a little bit. So give me the T. There and there. And we need to work on the fairway. How are we missing fairway? Anyway, what we might do is we might then give ourselves a little bit of fairway just down there in case you can make that. And then what we'll do is we'll rough it out to that spot there. So if you can, there's a little bit of relief there, and then you go out this way. Now I'm kind of wondering, we'll put a bit of rough in that spot, and then I'm kind of wondering about, we needed to do that before we placed it. So did we want a backstop? Yeah, let's, as a bit of a backstop, let's run some sand down the back there, right? So if you're over, you're in the sand. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. Let's have a look at the shot analysis here. Well, people will be driving this green, so that's okay. Let's unlock that one as a starting point. Over here, we wanted a nice little bridge across, I guess, over here, really. And then we'll do and run this one down here all the way, actually all the way in there. And what we'll do is we'll run this one back this way. We'll give ourselves the whole number 8, and a few other bits and pieces really. So a bit of a trash can in this location, maybe a bench. We'll flip it around, get a bench in there, and we'll give ourselves a water fountain right over there. That overlaps it reasonably. We'll bring the path out this way, and then I guess we'll do a nice big par 3 this way back. Okay, so let's quickly do that. We're at an hour now. So yeah, we'll spend a little bit more time just to get our 9th hole done. But yeah, really we don't have room for much more. Okay, so there we go. So that's the way you're going to get in here. I guess probably do a little bit of a path down this way. And now what we'll do is from over here, we'll just do a nice big par 3 to the end here. And what I'm thinking is we'll do a bit of a down slope, right? So if we did maybe something like this, and we want to do some water around it, not sand, but water instead. So if we oh, that looks pretty cool. I like that. And we'll give ourselves some fairway. Oh, we shouldn't really do that. We want to just level it out now, right? So if we leveled this out, and then from here, I'm thinking a nice and elevated par, a nice and elevated tee box right up here. Something like that. And okay, let's do that then. If we go right in here, and we'll do something like that. Okay. And then from a green perspective, we'll just fill this up nicely like so. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll have the path come around this way. So something like that for your path to get back down there. That's okay. Now, obviously, we're going to need a little bit more things like some fairway. So let's do some fairway down here. So if you can't quite make it, you'll have a little bit of fairway relief at the front. And are we insufficient funds yet again, huh? Give us a bit of expansion to the tee box. Right, that's okay. So that's going to be how you're hitting it off. And then I guess we're after some rough in here, right? So we want to just clear it out, clear the path a little bit from the trees here. Insufficient funds. We are missing some fairway though. So we might want to kind of expand our fairway down. Well, actually, I'm after more of this kind of fairway. So we'll do a little bit of fairway all the way around that way. Right, that should be, wow, that's not even close with the fairway, really. Okay, now still not. We'll make it a little bit of an awkward one with the hazards in there. So to be honest, I'm thinking maybe we do a few other spots here. Oh yeah, that's pulling back on the fairway there. So that should be getting us to a reasonable spot. A plus, A plus. Okay, so that's all A plus there. Pretty awkward little hole, this one. What we might do is we might just get rid of a couple of these trees there. Okay, and then we'll get this hole number here. Let's rotate it. So that's hole number 9 right there. We'll do a couple of extra pieces here. Maybe a bench, maybe a trash can, maybe a drinks fountain. Okay. Oh, and what I wanted to do, we don't have the money for it right now, but let's quickly go ahead and have a look at this. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. And let's unlock that hole. And now we've got 9 holes ready to play. And I think, guys, that is where I'm going to leave it. We do need to bring a couple of extra things in here. So we'll do some amenities in this spot. We might do some additional amenities in there. This guy is fixing some stuff. Anyway, we'll wait for some money to come in and we'll do some more amenities. But really that gives us our 9-hole golf course here in our first spot. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, we'll do the tournament in the next one and I'll play in it myself. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Yeah, I'll see you next time when we'll at least do the tournament, do one more. But yeah, this is a new series, so if you are enjoying this and want to see a bit more of this, let's yeah, hit that like button, leave your comments, tell me what you think of it. We'll try and obviously do our normal management tycoon-y thing to try and get this to be nice and profitable as we build some creative golf courses. Again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.